Good day, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. Welcome to MeteoMark's weather here. We have a lot to talk about. I hope everybody's doing well here. Thanks for joining me, all new viewers. Subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button. Share with family and friends. Get this information out. Let's take a look. We got a big old tropical wave out here into the Atlantic. Yes, this could be a big thing as it crosses the Atlantic. I'm looking at it's possible that this could actually traverse across the entire Atlantic. Does it actually have a chance to develop? We'll actually go over that. And our system here in the Western Gulf. Is this any chance to develop? And how much tropical moisture could it funnel into eastern Texas and Louisiana? We'll get into all the details there. And as we zoom out here, you can see our Cape Verde system I showed you just at the beginning of the video. Here it is towards July 11th, all the way through the 12th, 13th. There it is approaching Puerto Rico. Does this actually have a chance to develop here? Take a look at this. It does make it pretty far to the west here. And a big old pattern shift. Is it back here in the east as we see a big old upper level trough here across central and eastern Canada with an associated trough? Is this going to bring lots of Gulf and Atlantic tropical moisture up into the northeast? And will this promote severe weather across much of the south? We'll get into all the details. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start off here with the European run in this analysis because, it has the best track record out here, especially as of late with the tropical season. So we have that tropical wave here approaching the Lesser Antilles as we get into Friday morning. Here's our system off the Cape Verde Islands that I showed you at the beginning here. Here it is. So let's see what the European model does here. We have our subtropical high out here just southwest of the Azores, and we have our system here across the Western Gulf, although it's not looking very impressive here on the European model. So let's just put this in go in time here, see what actually the timeline, here it is towards July 8th, Saturday. You can see these systems really aren't lasting too long. You can see our system out here just southwest of the Cape Verde Islands starting to, holding together here. Here it is in the system here into parts of the Caribbean islands as well. But as you continue to watch here, you notice this is drifting a little bit farther to the north here. This is as this high pressure system continues to retreat towards Europe here. So what we're seeing here is our subtropical high pushing pretty far into the eastern Atlantic, and that's going to have implications. Systems will have the ability to recurve out in the Atlantic a lot easier. Now, you can see the system really holding on the Euro by July 10th here. Let's continue to go in time. There it is, July 12th. It's just to the northeast here of the U.S. Virgin Islands, and then it starts to move through here. You can see we do have an area of low pressure up here just east of Bermuda by this point. Look at this, though. We have a bigger tropical wave. Let me just rewind this back to the 12th here. So we do have a bigger tropical wave here coming out of the southeast here on the European model. Doesn't look as good, though, as the one that's holding together from our Cape Verde system. This one's bearing down on the island of Hispaniola, continuing towards the west here. So here on the European model, you can see here it is towards July 15th. Could this actually make it all the way to the Gulf? It is quite possible. It's still holding on here by the 15th. No model seems to blow this up into anything major, but it's definitely something we should keep an eye on here. And as you can see, look at here across the western and central Caribbean remains pretty well socked in with tropical moisture here. Intertropical convergence zone really starting to pick up here by July 16th. So here we go with the GFS model. This one is the one people criticize the most, rightfully so, because it comes up with a lot of phantom storms that spin up. But here we go. Here's our Cape Verde system. Show it up here onto the GFS. We'll compare and see how it looks to the European model here. Now, as you can see here across the western, Gulf of Mexico, it doesn't look like this system lasts too long. So this is definitely going to be out of here by, say, later Friday. You can see here across Texas and Louisiana. It's pretty much drying up at that point. Here is another tropical wave here approaching just to the northeast of the Lesser Antilles. And as we continue in time, let's go with our Cape Verde system. See how that traverses here across the Atlantic. This is by July 12th here. Take a look at this. So yeah, we're going to be seeing this system approach the Lesser Antilles The GFS taking it a little bit farther to the south this run. It's pretty curious here because it was a little bit further to the north last time, but bringing showers and heavier thunder showers here to the island of Puerto Rico by July 14th here. Now, if we could continue westward here towards all the island chains, all my friends in Jamaica, the Cayman Islands here, we're going to be looking at a lot of tropical moisture just to your north, but are you going to actually see any moisture? You know, you can see this system riding to the north here, the island of Hispaniola, and then whatever's left of this energy moving around this subtropical high that's east of Bermuda at this point. So this is by the 15th. The GFS turns further northward here, and this could actually, you know, ride up the U.S. East Coast depending on how strong it is here. You can see there definitely is evidence of a trough along the U.S. East Coast. Now, taking a look at the short-term forecast here for the Western Caribbean, since I have so many viewers here in this region, this is towards July 10th. We do have a little bit of a flare-up of a tropical wave here across Central America. Still looking pretty dry here across the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, for that matter. I'll go over rainfall totals over the next several days. But yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to be seeing much in the rainfall, at least through July 14th, the 15th. Yeah, most of the systems stay north and south of your region. So thanks to tropicaltidbits.com for the dry air at mid-layers. Look at what's going on here. Here's our system off the Cape Verde Islands. Take a look at it here. Our tropical wave east of the Lesser Antilles. Our system here into the Western Gulf that doesn't look like at this point, you know, narrowing window for development. What's going on here as we head towards Sunday, July 9th? You can essentially see there's the tropical wave moving through into the Eastern Caribbean at this point. There's our tropical wave, our Cape Verde storm. Lots of dry air here across the Western Caribbean and the Bahamas. As we head through time, you can essentially see what's going on here. Our system here into the main development region from the Cape Verdes initially is now approaching the northern Lesser Antilles. It is surrounded by dry air here. Lots of dry air here from the mid-layers of the Saharan dust as well. And as we continue to go in time, you can see our system here, this is towards Thursday, July 13th. It's surrounded by dry air. It's still surviving. You can see the intertropical convergence zone down here, but plenty of dry air here into the Western Gulf, continuing into the Bahamas and just off the East Coast as well. And look at that. The Euro continuing to build this high pressure, pushing the system towards the Western Caribbean, actually, which is pretty interesting because, you know, the GFS wants to take it up like this. European is a little bit weaker and further west here and more moist here across the Northern Caribbean. But look at this. The dust starts to take over at mid-layers across the main development region of the Atlantic by the 15th. So to all my friends down there in Jamaica, Cayman Islands, and Central America, let's take a look at your rainfall. I have to be honest, most of it is going to remain across Central America. This is through Monday, July 10th. You can see most of it stays away from the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, where we'll only be seeing most likely a total of 6 to 12 millimeters of rainfall. So that's not a lot. Belize, you'll see upwards of 40, 50, maybe 60, especially along the coast, down towards Nicaragua and Costa Rica as well. But yeah, the Caribbean islands here, the Northern Caribbean islands, you're just not going to get a lot. And let's get further into the Eastern Caribbean and to the main development region of the Atlantic. Look at this as we head through Saturday. Look at the rainfall moving through the Lesser Antilles, around 40 millimeters on average. But look at this into next week as that tropical wave from the Cape Verde Islands approaches towards the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Look at this rain across parts of the Hispaniola all the way through the Northern Lesser Antilles. Even the Lesser Antilles here with some of these southern waves that move through. Look how much rain you could be getting, 60 to 100 millimeters of rainfall. So let's take a look at our future radar here. We got a lot to talk about with this. You know, we got lots of strong to severe thunderstorm alerts here as we go in time. But yeah, the thing we're going to look for here as we go throughout, you know, the evening and overnight into Friday here, you can take a look. Yeah, it's going to be a weak front initially here into the northeast until we get a slug of moisture that starts to develop. This is 6 a.m., 7 a.m. on Friday morning, 7/7 here, July 7th. So take a look at that. You'll be dealing with some showers and thunderstorms across western New York and Pennsylvania, and some of these could get pretty frisky. Take a look at this towards Ithaca, down to Bradford, Pennsylvania, Williamsport, yeah. And look at that in parts of the Hudson Valley up towards the Capital District in New York. A lot of these will be pretty well gully washers, but I cannot rule out a strong to severe thunderstorm here. Let's just zoom out a little bit all the way up to Burlington, northern New England, and then we stretch this down into the Carolinas as well, where it'll be a little bit more cellular all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Look at this. I'll get to this in just a moment, a mesoscale convective system. But yeah, we're going to be dealing with lots of showers and thunderstorms here across the east. As we continue to go in time, take a look at this. This is towards 6 p.m., just after your afternoon, evening rush hour. Those push into the Catskills, Poconos, Hudson Valley, eastern Pennsylvania, and you're kind of stuck with them most of the night until they move into New England and die out with the daytime heating. Now, let's take a look over here. You can see across, if we just put this into motion, this is from there's 10 p.m. on the 6th. So watch how this mesoscale convective system just dives southward throughout the early morning hours of July 7th here, Friday. So look at that, knocking on the door there to Tulsa and Oklahoma City. This thing could be a big damaging wind event. Isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out here. Take a look at that, heading on towards Little Rock towards 3 p.m. here. And you'll get these cellular showers and thunderstorms that develop, anywhere from the Gulf Coast all the way up into Virginia here. So yeah, watch out for this area tomorrow. Get some gully washers heading your way. But there's Little Rock towards 3 p.m., to start your weekend. That mesoscale convective system kind of loses its punch, so to speak. It's still going to cause some severe weather, though, down and through Mississippi and Alabama. And please keep an eye on another mesoscale convective system could be developing around Arkansas just overnight, Friday night into early Saturday morning. Look at that. Another round for Little Rock, Arkansas before weakening. So, synoptic view of our weather. Take a look at this. So, we're starting off with 11 a.m. on Friday. You can see the showers and thunderstorms up there across the East Coast, spreading into the Northeast, and then another round towards July 8th here. So as we get later on in the day on Saturday, we could have some showers and thunderstorms approaching the Cleveland area, Columbus area. Definitely keep an eye on this. I showed you these on the mesoscale model forecast update as well. Couldn't go too far out into the weekend there. Look at your Sunday there across the Northeast. Moisture continuing to feed across the Gulf Coast regions as well. Look at this. We could have some heavier showers and thunderstorms, especially up in the Hudson Valley as we head on Sunday here. We are socked in across the Northeast. So look at this. Your whole Sunday will start off with 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Look at that. That's a lot of rainfall. I'll go over all those rainfall amounts with you momentarily. And as we continue to go into next week, a period of very dry weather sets in all the way through, Monday the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Look at this. And then the 13th, or the 12th, later on the 12th, Wednesday the 12th, we get another round of strong to severe storms here across parts of Ohio Valley here as we head into the lower Great Lakes. And that spreads eastward as we head towards the 13th. Look at that. We could see a squall line move into parts of the Northeast. And then as we head towards the 14th, here it is. This is the overall pattern, definitely becoming a little bit more robust, as you can see evidence here of a big old upper level low in eastern Canada. I have more weather forecast here for you momentarily in just a minute, but here's a quick announcement from my affiliate. I am proud to announce that I am now an affiliate with Trilogy Maps. TrilogyMaps.com, bringing you the most digital, customizable maps found nowhere else on the internet. These maps are simply stunning. It's an advanced layering system that makes these maps great for making forecast maps with ease or any other maps that you would like to display important information on. The resolution on these maps is simply amazing. From the detail of everything here in the States, and you can also create stunning, digital, professional layered maps from also across the entire world. And don't forget, in checkout, the discount code option, use my code, MeteoMark, hit apply, and you will get 20% off your order. So if you want the most professional, customizable, and affordable weather maps found nowhere else on the internet, look no further than TrilogyMaps.com. Link in the description down below along with your discount code. Alright, so let's take a look at our European run here for North America upper air pattern. So there it is. You see that trough really starting to dig in next week across the eastern part of the country. This is that upper level low influencing the weather, sending pulses of energy south and eastward. And this could bring, periods of heavier rain and severe thunderstorms spreading across eastern North America. This definitely looks like evidence of a wintertime pattern setting up once again. That's that pattern flip that I was talking to you about. Take a look at that as we continue through mid-July. It tries to exert its force, by retreating here, but you can see that upper level low still pushing that trough here across eastern North America. So as we take a look at the European model here, as we go through your Friday, that frontal boundary in the Ohio Valley Thursday night's going to be moving into the northeast here. We have another piece of energy with some severe weather potential as well as we continue to go in time. Those showers and thunderstorms really blossom here across the northeast for late Friday morning into the early afternoon hours. Take a look at that. So yeah, a big old line of showers and thunderstorms. Big complex mesoscale convective system here across the eastern plains. As we head through towards Saturday here, take a look at this. We get organized strong to severe thunderstorms here across the upper Mississippi River Valley. We start to clear it out a little bit into the northeast, so you might eke out an okay Saturday here across upstate New York, parts of Pennsylvania. But look what starts to form here. An area of low pressure as we head through Saturday night into early Sunday. You'll be getting some rain and thunderstorms here across eastern Ohio, southern Ohio, and that really starts to blossom later Sunday morning. Look at this. It's a rainy day here, especially across parts of central and southern and western Pennsylvania. And look at how that just magnifies throughout the day up the I-81 corridor, the Catskills and Poconos, the Hudson Valley, New Jersey, eastern upstate New York. Look at the I-81 corridor really socked in there with rain and thunderstorms. It just continues all day for your Sunday and into Monday into New England. And look at here, congealing across the Gulf Coast. We got a big old area of showers and some embedded severe thunderstorms as well. So that clears out for your Tuesday, July 11th here. You're eking out a very nice day here across much of this eastern region here. So get out there and enjoy if you can. But look at this. As we head throughout the week, we're going to look for active severe weather outbreaks here across much of the plains. So please watch out for that. It's going to feel like a springtime pattern that we're in here. Very robust. Another area of low pressure pinwheels towards the Ohio River Valley towards Thursday the 13th. We could be getting some big time strong to severe thunderstorms into parts of Ohio as we head towards Thursday morning here. That spreads east on Friday. You can see into parts of the northeast. You can see showers and thunderstorms breaking out around New York City, Philadelphia, the Hudson Valley there. But look at the next low forming behind it here, heading towards the Ohio Valley for Saturday. Yeah, we could be looking at a severe weather outbreak here. I know it's pretty far out here, so we got plenty of time to watch that, but you can see a pretty good squall line forming there across Pennsylvania and upstate New York into Saturday the 15th into Sunday the 16th here. So there you have it. So as you want to get into rainfall totals here, total equivalent precipitation through Saturday, there it is. So you're really going to start to rack up the rainfall totals here through Sunday, July 9th. Look at that into the northeast, averaging an inch or two up there, close to 3 plus close to 4 inches in some of those yellow zones. Look at this as we go through Wednesday, July 12th, and then all the way through the following weekend, the 16th of July. Look at this in the northeast, socked in with, this is 2.5, upwards of 5 inches of rain here into the central plains as well and along the Gulf Coast. And as we get up here into the northeast, this is through your Friday. So, yeah, we'll be seeing some showers and thunderstorms there from I-81 especially. But look at this. Yeah, we're going to get some rain showers, from Cleveland, Akron, Columbus on eastward from Thursday night into early Friday morning. That translates into Friday and Saturday there into the northeast, mainly Friday across this region of upstate New York and eastern Pennsylvania. So you'll be picking upwards of an average to 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of rain, locally higher amounts. Sunday, we just pile on top that. Sunday's definitely a rainy day. We're looking at a solid inch or inch and a half on top of what we already had from Friday. And look at that up into northern New England. We're just soaking that rain in there. And look at that across Michigan for next Friday, July 14th. And we're just going to pile on top of that through the 16th of July. So I wanted to briefly go over wildfire smoke here. You can see down here in the desert Southwest, we got a lot. And here it is up into parts of Quebec and Ontario. Thankfully, we only have a little bit. There are some air quality alerts out. They're mainly for yellow and orange. But as we go through time, we go through Friday here, you can see most of this smoke does stay up into Canada, which is great news. Out west here, we got some coming out of the southwest here, and then some kind of starting to pour from Alberta down into the northern plains. But look at this. This is just reminiscent of what can happen if we get a northerly wind across the Northeast and the Great Lakes in the Midwest. Thankfully, we're not seeing too much in the way of smoke over the next couple days. So getting into the Eastern Pacific here, this is where things are really going to start ramping up here. This is by Saturday afternoon here. Look at the system ramping up here. Thankfully, this is not going to be a threat to any land because this is likely to become the season's first major hurricane here. Let's zoom in right over top of it. Kind of forming a donut shape here just south of the tip of the Baja California here. So take a look at that. And it will weaken as it heads out over west here. The next system here that has a chance of development, 50% chance through day 7. That takes us out to July 11th here. That next system, too, likely to stay way over open water and possibly become a major hurricane as well. So we're really going to start lining up the storms here into the Eastern Pacific. And I wanted to take you to the Western Pacific here. Philippines, they're going to be socked in here over the next several weeks here. But starting out, you look pretty quiet. Look at this. We do have a few tropical waves. It does start to look a little bit messy here to your east. Look at this. This is towards the weekend. So we're getting into the 9th, July 9th, later on in the weekend here. And look at that. This big old slug of moisture is going to continue towards the west. We're still looking pretty clear. Only some scattered showers into parts of the Philippines here through July 12th. But look at this off on your screen here. This is going to be the potential for some sort of tropical wave, maybe even some sort of tropical disturbance here. So let's continue in time and see what the models are indicating. Yeah, it's going to pivot towards the southern part of the Philippines. A stronger wave develops behind it here. This is towards July 14th. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Things will be becoming active again in the intertropical convergence zone. You're just going through a period of quietness, since we had our major typhoon last month here across the Western Pacific. But look at this. I'll leave you with this last frame, July 18th here. Take a look at this. Yeah, you're going to be socked in towards the mid part of July here. So anything could develop out of this intertropical convergence zone. And it almost looks like something is trying to develop here off the northern coast of the Philippines. So if I take you on the European run here of the Western Pacific, what's going on? So this is July 8th, 9th, 10th. We're going to go out here and see if there's any chance of any one of these waves developing. You see quite a bit in the way of wave activity, but none of these seem to be really grabbing on to any sort of development here. Until, look at this, we get towards, say, some heavier rain here on July 13th. So this is where we start to see a surge in the moisture here on the European model. Yeah, and some of these start to become a little more deeper, higher cloud tops here, so to speak. And definitely going to be keeping an eye on this as we head towards mid-July, because look at how the central Philippines here seem to be socked in on both models as we continue to go towards the middle of July. So definitely keeping an eye on that. Looks like some stronger storms here off the East Asian coast up here towards central and southern Korea as well. So as we take a look at your temperatures here across the country, we're going to be cooling it down here across the north. So Friday, look at that. We're going down to the 70s into Cleveland, upper 70s over to Buffalo. Still holding on to upper 80s here along the northeast corridor. But look at this into your Saturday. We push that cooler air pretty far southward here, so we're still into the upper 90s across Texas and much of the East Coast here, upper 80s all the way up to New York City and Boston. Let's take a look and see if we have any warming trends or cooling trends. Yeah, this is a cooling trend. Look at those 70s here into the Northeast, into the Appalachians and the Ohio River Valley for your Sunday. And as we continue towards Monday here, take a look at this. We're going to see a renewed heat wave building out west here. Is that going to head towards the east? Well, let's take a look for your Tuesday. Yes, you start to see an increase of heat and humidity here across the Northeast and Ohio Valley again as we get into the mid to upper 80s by Tuesday. And into Wednesday of next week, you can see we're already pushing 90 in many locations across the Northeast. Look at this. This is 100-degree temperatures. We're just baking across Florida as well. Extended outlook from hometown viewers. Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna River Valley of New York and Pennsylvania. Friday, showers and thunderstorms moving in with that frontal boundary moving in. it will feel pretty tropical. I think we'll get up to about a half an inch on average. Locally higher amounts into Saturday. That clears a little bit. You still have a 20% chance of afternoon shower or thunderstorm. Still muggy up towards the mid to upper 80s. Into Sunday, this is the big day. This is the big day. Tropical moisture flows in from the south and the southeast along that next frontal boundary. Yeah, we could get upwards of an inch and a half, inch and a quarter, somewhere in there. Into Monday and Tuesday, we clear it out a little bit, but still a chance of showers and thunderstorms each day, heading up towards the upper 80s. As always, thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. Take a look at the links down below. I have my affiliate link for Trilogy maps, so if you want to get some of those, I do make a commission off those. I just wanted to disclose that, but go ahead and use the code MeteoMark to save 20%. Also, visit my Hurricane 2023 Outlook if you haven't already. Link at the end of this video and description down below. Don't forget Facebook MeteoMark, also Weather Northeastern, also Hurricane Northeastern for my tropical page, at MeteoMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com, Twitter at WeatherEastern. Thank you for joining me.